The World War II Enigma machine was a analog electrical coding device using cryptography through electronic circuitry. Basically what would happen is anyone who had to use one of these devices, be it the Navy or the Army, would be issued with a yearly book. In that book you would look up the date. For instance, if it was the 27th of the 10th 1943, there would be some settings for the Enigma machine. It would say if it was a free rotor machine that we will be using today rotor 2, 4 and 1, and the positions of those rotors should be 6, 11 and 20. So we will use rotor 2, 4 and 1 as it says, and we will start those rotors off in position 6, 11 and 20. Okay. So what will happen there is I've got my settings. I will begin to write my message. So what will happen is, right, for an example, I want to say that there's a U-boat coming. So the first letter that I will be typing in my message will be U. So as I press down on the key U, it will send an electrical current through here to the bus, to the data bus, to the loom. There will be 24 contacts, okay, to allow for all the letters of the alphabet, So power will go into contact here, which is the contact for U, right? As that current enters this first rotor, rotor number 2, all the wires inside are crisscrossed. So U might go to Z, okay? A might go to L, B to Z. Who knows? It could be anything, but they are all crisscrossed in a random direction. Okay? Now, all the different outfits or anybody who's got the Enigma machine in their department will have these rotors. There could be up to 6 different rotors. Rotor 2, 4, 1, it could be rotor 6, rotor 2 and rotor 3. As I said in the book, it will tell you which rotor it is for that day. But they are all wired up differently inside, crisscrossing. 24 positions crisscrossed. So what will happen by pressing U, the current will go through into position U and will come out, for an example, on this side as J, in position J. Okay, so then the current will come out of J on rotor 2 and it will then enter rotor number 4 and it will be hitting position Q on rotor number 4, and then that will crisscross, as I've said before, the same as in rotor 2, will crisscross and it will come out on the electrical contact for B. So the power is carrying on through and coming out point B on that side onto rotor number 3, that will output as K. It will send the currents coming through from the switch here on button U all the way through now, crisscrossing through here, crisscrossing through this rotor, crisscrossing through that rotor, and finally comes out in position K. So on this side of the rotor and on the side of the machine will be the 24 contacts, the same as on this side, but these will be your output contacts, and now kind of what would you assume to be randomly, but it isn't random because there is a set wiring to this, and every single coil issued to each department will have the same wiring inside. Okay, that's why you cannot mix the rotors up. Right, so the current will come through, it comes out of K, the power comes round and it will illuminate key K. Okay, so U now is K. So this will go on. Okay, so a whole message will be written. U-boat, in the North Atlantic Sea, 1300 hours. Okay, so there may be a big message. So all these letters will come out and be random. So it will just look as gibberish to anybody that reads this, Okay. So basically then you have sent a coded message. Okay, so what happens is the person receiving the message on the other side also will have this book, and in the morning he will set his machine up exactly the same. He will have rotor 2, 4 and 1 out of his set of rotors. Okay, and the other rotors 2, 6, rotors 6, 3, etc. They will just sit aside and be used another day. Okay, so what will happen now is he sets it up and he sets his rotor position 2 and 4 and 1 exactly the same. So when he presses in K now, which will be the first letter of his message, okay, he presses button K, the current will travel through K, through the loom, it will go into contact K, it will come back through here, through that rotor, come out of B to R, all the way through to Q, and it will come out exactly as button U, and button U will light up on this side. So we now have decoded K to U. U-boat is going to arrive, North Atlantic Sea, etc. So we'll go through the whole message. So what will happen as well, once you press a button, it will send the current through, but after the light is illuminated as K, there's a mechanical system and it will move rotor to one position. It may move rotor 2 one position, rotor 3, but normally what would happen, this would move every 10 positions, and that one every 20 positions. They wouldn't all move one position, yeah? That made it even more random by doing that. A bit like the speedometer, the odometer on your car, as the wheel turns around, the mileage, it was every 10th mile and every 100th mile, yeah? These would randomly move as well. So as you press the button, as well as illuminating the coded letter, it will also move your rotors the set position. And the person on the other end receiving the message, their Enigma machine would do exactly the same, yeah? Okay, so as he presses his second button, say it's button A, yeah? Okay, at the end of pressing button U, it's move one rotation. So as he presses A, say A goes in here and it comes out as, I don't know, R, etc, etc. These rotors turn the position, it will send another letter out, say M, so R is M. But as it's moved one position, the person receiving the message, their rotors would have moved one position. So when they send the current back through, okay, they press M, the current will go back exactly through the same direction with the crisscrossing inside each rotor, and it will illuminate A on the opposite side. So as long as the operator set their Enigma machine to the correct settings at the beginning of the day, with the rotor positions and the actual correct rotors, they will they will get the message reversed and readable exactly as it should be. And the configuration of this is trillions and trillions of different configurations. This could be, if you tried to work out this on pen and paper, it's almost impossible. It would take you forever. You just cannot do it. And these would change every day, every 24 hours. So turn midnight, okay, on the 27th of the 10th, on the 28th of the 10th, 1943, this will end up being rotor 1, that rotor 6, and that could be rotor 4, and these could be position, position 1, 8 and 21. So it's just so random that nobody could ever work this out, using their brains, and that's why they had to invent a machine, like in the film Enigma machine. His only machine could calculate this and reverse engineer everything. So it was a combination of electrical and mechanical engineering to create this device. I hope this has helped to sort of narrow down and explain things on how the cryptography machine, the Enigma machine, ciphered code, and hopefully you can sort of understand it in a basic way now. Thanks for watching my video, and yeah, hope you found it interesting. Cheers.